Welcome to the MWG podcast. This is episode 26 or season 3, episode 6, depends on how you're counting. Today we have a special guest, one of my friends, AaronOreo. We go way back from fighting on Summoner's Rift to peeking corners in Valorant. Today's topic is courtesy of Westsidious, and I quote, "How have you evolved as a gamer throughout the years? Changes in playstyle in single-player games, multiplayer games, fighting, FPS, MOBA, etc." We got a lot to cover today, so without further ado, this is Whispering Tears, and I'm joined as always by Mossta and Westsidious. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Aaron?
Let me tell you, man. I still am trying to wrap my head around episode 26, season 3, episode 6.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit of these.
It took me a second. Imagine describing to someone an anime episode you watched and you said it like that.
It'd be a little confusing, but I think it'd get the point across.
Anime's on another level, man. There's like different, you know what I mean? There are like whole ass different animes. Like, with
animes have seasons?
Like, imagine, right?
Yeah, man. Like you could just throw out spoilers like, "Oh, is that when this guy died?" I'm like, "Hold on, man. That's not the one I was thinking of."
It's actually the sister anime that happened. It's alternate timeline. Yeah. Is that where we're going?
I think that's where we're going.
Oh,
But yeah, my name is Aaron James. I've gone by a lot of different gamer tags over the past, I would say, decade or so. But right now, I think we're just keeping it simple. It's my gamer tag right now is usually going by AaronOreo, or if you've seen me or gotten wrecked by someone named Dr. AJ, that is also me.
you mean Dr. AJ from Valorant?
Oh my. Hold on.
I've been looking at the streams every now and then. See y'all doing work.
Hold on. Is this tens? Tens? Is this tens?
This is tense. Oh yeah. Secretly, probably. Oh man, but yeah. Man, this is kind of cool. You know, I know I just showed up to the call like 20 minutes ago, but it's actually pretty refreshing to it's pretty nice to be able to talk to you like this, Aaron. I had no idea you and Nas went way back. Like that's cool.
The thing is, like me and Najee, we didn't meet or like know each other like how you and I know each other.
Okay.
Because like in high school, we had mutual friends and we hung out once in a while because of mutual friends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this guy Najee, I never talked to him in high school, like hung out with him. This dude was cracking jokes and laughing in the back of one of my classes.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember the dog?
What's happening? Why is there a dog?
So every day, one of my friends, Tony, would draw this ugly dog, and we pass it around the classroom. And we say, is this cute? And it would always get to this one girl, I forget her name.
But right in the middle of the class.
Yeah. He hated it. So she would stand up, crumple it as loud as she can, and march over to the wastebasket and dunk it, right?
Oh, okay.
And the teacher got her in trouble.
A classic. Just paying for your guys' mistakes. Come on, man.
I couldn't handle it, man. It was so much. Like you and Tony together were just, oh my god. I wasn't even talking to you guys, but whenever I hear you guys talk, it's freaking hilarious, man. I was dying. That's how I met Najee. And then I knew Kaiser more because we actually had a class together, and then worlds merged.
Right.
How do I say this? This is like the merging of the 9 realms or the 7 realms of Thor.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
There we go.
There we go.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh yeah, it's cool. And I remember, and then we started me, Moss, and I started talking, more regularly and regularly because of the Fully Charged. And then when we started this podcast, at one point, I discovered you guys as like friends because I got randomly invited to Discord because obviously I was talking to Najee Kaiser, and and I'd seen I don't remember if you're like in the call and I was in it, or if I saw you on like Twitch or something, and I was like, oh snap, yo, I haven't a little long. I was like, yeah, that's cool. It's always good to.
Dude, anytime I like talk to you, I always like ask my brother because I know you and him were both in choir in high school. And I would always ask him like, hey, you remember Carl? He's like, Carl? I'm like, the only other guy that was in choir class with you, probably.
I think your older brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were just that far apart in year. I honestly can't, it's been so long, I can't remember. If I just vaguely remember, but yeah. I see why you'd ask. But yeah, but it's good to have you, man. Because I knew that you played what I thought was the coolest thing was that you played Street Fighter 4, because back then not a lot of people played, at least at school it felt like it didn't. And don't forget, don't think I forgot about that guy. Guy?
That's the only reason why I played him, man. People talk about memorable moments with like Ryu or yeah, man, I landed this nasty car throw with Ken, won me that game. And it's like no one's gonna remember that. But if you play someone that no one knows, everyone's gonna remember that. Everyone remembers that stuff.
Oh, I like the logic, because when I saw that you played Guy, I thought it was incredibly unique, and because I legit knew no one that played Guy, and it's kind of weird because Guy in Street Fighter 4 was actually pretty entertaining. Like he had run, he had run, he had the jet jump mix up, he had a command off, and I was just like, yo, this man is running at me. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, he was Street Fighter 5 Ken before Street Fighter 5 Ken. Like, what's good?
He was guide-like. He was guide-like, is what you're saying, huh?
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
No, but that's why I like playing him so much. It's just mix up potential and mind games is what I always go for in any game I play. So just watching someone stumble or just try to process anything that's I throw at them and they just take too long, it's so fun to like watch me just take advantage of them like not being able to keep up. And so I would always come up with some crazy stuff like whenever I play Guy.
Right. Yeah, it's just it's forever ago. Now you got a bunch of new fighting games that are coming in hot. You know what I mean? Are you still playing any fighting games whatsoever right now, Aaron? What's up?
Not really, actually. To be honest, like I think Street Fighter was like the games that came out around Street Fighter 4 time were like I would say it was like the peak of fighting games, I think. Because they were some very entertaining games. I mean, we had Marvel 3, Tekken 6. Is it Tekken 6 at the time?
Yeah.
The scene was kind of small, but I mean the game itself was like pretty solid, I would say. And then Street Fighter 4 was there. You had Guilty Gear, that I didn't really play too much of. Skullgirls was also a thing. Yeah. Injustice first came out. MK9 or MK10 also came out, which was a huge step forward for that series. But I don't know. Right now, I'm not playing too many fighting games, but I re-downloaded Street Fighter 4 again now that I have my fight stick here. So I've been playing that like on and off just for the nostalgia.
It's a great game to play, man.
It really is. It flows so well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I just can't believe we've come to that. I just can't believe we're at that age where, because I've always been an 09er, and I was always getting, you went to any forum and people talk about being an 09er, and it's just, if you don't know what an 09er is someone that basically started playing fighting games or became involved in the FGC in 2009 when Street Fighter 4 came out. And it was always like, it always felt condescending or kind of derogatory. But once Street Fighter 5 came out, right, it was actually OG to be an 09er, right? And I was just like, it's crazy. And now that we're in 2021, people are saying stuff like, "Yeah, I'm re-downloading Street Fighter 4. Hey, we were running sets of Street Fighter 4, or hey, Marvel 3 is back." I'm just like, "What the heck? Yo, it's like yesterday that we were I was just playing that."
Seriously,
But
it's like people are gonna start saying that Street Fighter Cross Tekken is a good game.
Not too far.
Hey, wait, no,
I have
wait,
a friend that'll completely disagree with you on that. He loves the
no,
game.
yeah,
He's actually really good at it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, there was, like, there was kind of a resurgence, a very, very small kind of push, because people were trying to sell other people at one point, like, yo, Street Fighter XC was kind of slept on, back in the day.
I think, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't watched gameplay in a while, but now that I'm actually thinking about it and comparing it to Street Fighter 5, I actually think Street Fighter Cross Tekken seems like it would actually be a pretty good game. It looks like it.
You're stacking it right there. You're comparing it to 5.
Watch LPN play Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And he makes the game look absolutely fun. Like, he makes the game look more fun than most people I see play it.
It really, I only watched like tournament streams, and it seemed a lot like rinse and repeat type of stuff, because people always play top tier teams, and I guess that's what kind of made it boring for me. But thinking about it now, and the variety of the combos and the call it team comps and all that, it would, if they released it now, I feel like it would beat out any other fighting game that's out right now.
Yeah, it was very ambitious at the time. I think what the issue was, the marketing was not that good, and by that I mean when news came of the gems, people were not happy about the gems. I remember that. And then the on disc, the on disc DLC, everyone hated that. And I remember that, and I was only like 15, 16 or whatever. And when I hear that, of course I'm gonna join the mob mentality. I was like, oh man, they say the game is garbage, so it has to be garbage. So I'm not gonna get the game, right? But now going back to it, definitely it's super ambitious. From what I've seen in the pro play, it could be kind of lame, to tell you the truth. Like a lot of matches I saw would come to time, because it just took so long to.
Oh, that's right. That was a thing in that game.
Remember that? Yeah, it took forever to thing. And I love fighting games, but not if it like comes to time every single time. So
I forgot how it always came down to that. Was it just they didn't take damage during on special move, or was it?
I forget, but I remember. I forget. All I know is that it took, like, even if you did a bread and butter, it didn't do that much damage. And I think throwing got rid of white life or something, so that's kind of nice.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that?
Throwing, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, throwing got rid of like white life. So, but yeah, randomly, I remember I even said, I was talking to my buddy Austin. I was like, hey, when we go back to Street Fighter vs. Tekken, because we were looking for games to play, because at the time we weren't playing Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'm glad I could say stuff like that, because right now there's so many different. Back then it was really just you're either playing Street Fighter 4 or you're playing Marvel. Like everything existed, but a lot of people became a lot more accepting of fighting games. Once they're like, yo, what the heck is Street Fighter 5? And then everyone was like, let's play Guilty Gear, let's play Mortal Kombat, let's play Skullgirls, whatever. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool time for fighting game. But back in the day, it was cracking. It was still cracking.
It was cracking back then, man.
Yeah.
There were so many hype moments.
That was like the golden age of fighting games, if you think about it.
It was. It really was. I remember watching like my first Evo stream back in like college, and oh my god, I never got that hype over any game ever, or just like watching a game. I never got that hype.
Yeah.
Fighter and Marvel.
So fighting games have come a long way, but so have we as players. And how do you feel like you've grown over this past decade? What?
The transitions are too good every time. It's gotta be surreal for some of these guys to come on, and maybe they listen to episode or two or none, but like when they hear the transition thing strike again, oh man, it's never the first time's always the best. My bad, dude.
No, that was good.
It's
That
all
was good.
That was that was good.
good.
The trend is on point.
All right, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
not just a transition king, man.
transition king.
King, man. Transition. He knew that should be his new handle. I'm just gotta graduate. Whispering transitions.
Hey, that's
Oh, I like that.
has a ring to it.
I'm just gonna say, what if it gets to the point where now it's just start transitioning, even in everyday conversation?
But
Back to the main topic. How have you guys evolved as a gamer throughout the years? Because I know personally, when I started playing fighting games, I didn't even know how to block low. And now I finally have an offense. I'm not just sitting there blocking, being a punching bag.
I don't know, man. Sometimes, like when we play League, you still only go forward.
Oh, let's go!
That's because I know we're gonna win the fight.
That's true.
You guys need to level up too. You need to come.
You already
It's been
know.
10 years. You should know we're gonna win.
You already know if it's me and you that are like, and if we're playing fives, I will commit. I will jump in. I don't care who I'm playing. I will jump in with you, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes
to jump in with me.
Yeah, Kaiser's the cold calculator, man. If our numbers don't match up with him, he's just like, no, man, no.
Wait, hold on. The real crime. Why am I not playing with Kaiser? That was hilarious.
Hey, man.
It's a long time.
Oh man.
But
So you said sorry. Oh my bad. Go ahead. No, you're.
Yeah. Answering the question though, they're asking how have I evolved over the years as a gamer?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, like have you changed in pretty much any game? I mean, when I thought about this question, I was just thinking about personally in fighting games because I definitely have changed. But yeah, just it could mean in general. So like in the like maybe you're more tolerant of single player games now, or maybe in FPSs you do this different, or in a MOBA you do this different. So yeah, it's kind of like that.
Well, to tell the truth, it's kind of hard to improve when you're already a god at games.
That's facts. You're right.
That's true.
You're right. When you're already the best, how can you?
Even the best can get better.
I was just kidding.
Just ask Aaron. The other Aaron.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I think if anything, like I'm kind of glad I got into the competitive scene of gaming through fighting games, because one thing I know for sure about fighting games, the thing like I crave from it the most is the instant like adaptability or learning, like the learning from your mistakes ASAP type of mindset. Like you catch like one little mistake, one thing that you need to change it. And every game I play now, like I still carry that same mindset where every mistake like needs to be corrected, any little thing can be improved, any little adjustment to your strategy or movement makes a huge difference. Like I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six. About
Yes.
a couple years ago or a year ago, I was like really into that scene. Was it just last year? But I've been playing it for a while. Though. And one thing that I really respect about that game compared to playing like Call of Duty or Medal of Honor, if that even has like a multiplayer or something, I don't know why. But the thing I really respect the most about that game is that anything could literally happen, especially when you have like specific team comps and you have many different ways to defend any site, and attackers always have multiple different ways to attack a site, so anything can go. And so kind of like making tiny adjustments, like where I'm going to be hiding around a corner, knowing someone has a tendency to like come over one side and them knowing that I'm always there, just like playing little teeny tiny mind games through every round. It's something that I really liked about that game. And I think that translating to everything else is just, just making constant changes in anything I play is what I've been carrying over since fighting games, man.
That's pretty positive change. I think that's what fighting games it's very humbling, because there's gonna be a lot of things that people do that you just have a really easy, very gimmicky, very easy solution, but you just don't know it. You know what I mean? And it forces you to adapt. You know what I mean? And that's an example of changing in a great way. And that's just not just gaming. That's just in general. You know what I mean? Ever since fighting games, that's how I approach pretty much most, if not everything in life. I was like, yo, I gotta change something. Something's not working. You know what I mean? So, wait, but hold on, Aaron. So you're telling me that in team games you have to change to win the game?
No, you don't.
Is that on record?
You don't. My play style's never changed, and I'm still winning.
Wait. You're telling me you have to have accountability in a team game?
Oh.
Wait. Hold on.
Nah, man.
No.
I never messed up.
Okay.
You think Kobe said that he made mistakes?
Oh my god.
Oh man. No, but yeah, like I think every game, if you're playing with a team or even by yourself, I think actually, you know what? Take it back. Hot take. I think every gamer should learn the whole concept of accountability in anything they play. That goes like
that's true.
Yeah, competitive or non-competitive. I feel like that's something every gamer should know.
Yeah, fighting games will teach you that really quick.
Yeah, it really is. Because it's just when you play like I always knock on team games, but it's always tongue in cheek, mostly tongue in cheek. But it's like, but yeah, a lot of these guys they're just very quick to point fingers, and honestly, it's just the nature of the game because you're just so dependent on someone else to win. That's just kind of how it is. So honestly, like Naj is probably gonna be like, yeah, I'm always grinding the strat. You know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna knock that at all. It's really not, because it's just.
Well, I have the experience now, because when I first started, oh man, I should tell you guys about my first Dota games. They would just kick me out. They wouldn't even let me play.
Wait, why am I just hearing about this now?
They had that option?
Yeah, so back in Warcraft 3, if somebody was doing bad, you could just kick them. And it was actually better to just kick somebody than have them feeding. But they were mean. They would not let you play. They kicked you out. They wouldn't tell you any tips. So you had to learn on your own. I mean, that's where I get the cockiness and the confidence, because I learned the hard way. Right. This build beats that build. These skills have this range. These two characters, if they go in together, they have enough damage output to kill that one, but not that one. And, all those different scenarios. Mm-hmm. And it helped me grow and it helped me learn. And I think the biggest skill I got from Dota in particular is understanding maybe the pace of a match or how composition affects stuff.
Pace of the matches. People, I mean, I don't think a lot of people think about that too much when they play competitive games, but pacing makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Like, for example, let's say you have a team and they have 3 hard carries. Are you going to sit there and let them farm up, or are you going to go kill those hard carries while they're soft? And that's true. That's where there's a big disconnect, because people nowadays are like, oh, well, you're supposed to farm for 35 minutes and then you engage them. No, if you got the comp to stop it, go stop it. Don't wait.
What do you mean? But at LCS, I saw them do this, so now I have to do this.
That's because they're at the highest level. And when I watch those guys, oh man, it's amazing the calls they make and the plays they do. But I understand what's behind it. I'm not skipping to the end. There's a lot of meat in between starting off the game and being at the end of the game, where you see the LCS players making these crazy decisions and the payoff. That's because they learn, in between all the lessons that are there. I can go on forever about Dota.
This is where adaptation comes into play. Because again, in order to get to that level of play, right? There's a reason why a lot of these pro players don't do this, don't do that. It's because they've done it a million times and they know what happens when you do it, which is how high level play comes to exist. A lot of these guys don't know is that, if you copy them, if you copy them with no game plan, you're just doing it because that doesn't make sense because you're not adapting.
If you don't actually understand why they're doing it,
Exactly.
Yeah, makes no sense.
No benefit.
There's really not. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for example, in fighting games too, like you see, nobody jumps, nobody does these specific moves that a lot of these characters have, and you always see it online. You know what I mean? And if you don't know how to stop it, it's just the match is gonna go sideways for you. You know what I mean? But when you watch a pro player, like wait, they never do that in a pro match. Like, what is this? Like, yeah, I mean that movie's hella good. That movie's so good in gold.
Talking about Brazilian Ken?
Oh, that means sorry. Honestly, anybody who do raw DP with no meter in Street Fighter 5 is crazy. There's literally zero reason to do it unless you're just random, right? There's a reason why you don't see nobody wake up with DP without meter in Street Fighter 5 high level.
Unless it's a read. Unless it's a legit read, right? I haven't played Street Fighter 5, so
yeah, that's facts too. But you know what they say, Aaron? It's not random if it hits. It's a read, right?
I will tell you right now. Over half of my EX legs with Guy are can be random sometimes. But I will say they're reads when it works. But to kind of like to jump on that, like people who watch like pro players and they just try to instantly jump on that bandwagon just because they know it's top tier. It reminds me of this one this one guy I was playing back in college. Apparently, like this is around the time GamerB started kind of coming up in Street Fighter 4 with his Adon.
Classic.
And so, Adon's got some pretty meaty frame traps and safe jumps and all that.
Yeah.
That's Adon for you.
He watched Najee play Adon. Watched Najee play Adon. And he started, I've played him a lot of times, so I know what his mindset typically is. But then when he pulled out an Adon, he started doing all these like safe jump setups and neutral jump heavies on me just to get like frame traps. All I did was like make one quick adaptation, and this guy, he fell apart faster than Jenga, dude. This guy just started random DPing me off every wake up, anything. I'm just like, what happened? You look so good for a second.
It happens, man. That's a huge thing too. It's one thing to have a solid. If you had a game plan, that's good, right? You're already doing hard for yourself. It even comes to the match thinking. But when your opponent, adapts to your line of thinking, like some people will actually they'll make completely irrational decisions and they'll just start DPing and weird play. And yeah, they will look godlike. But once you download that one thing, they just don't know what to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
that's why I don't believe in top tier either, man. There's no there are top tier characters, but
I know what you mean.
That takes too hot.
Yeah, but when you see a top tier character lose to a low tier character like Hakan, when Hakan was irrelevant until people found out how good he is when he's all lubed up. Like it's just like instances like that where low mid tier or mid low tier characters coming out like that. That's where it doesn't matter if you play top tier. If your brain ain't good, then it's not as you're not gonna win.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but yeah, just adaptation. You know what I mean? Once you figure out your opponent's figured you out, you got to figure them out figuring you out. You know what I mean? I can't. You got to have
say that again.
Like I said, here, put this on the record, boys. If they figure, so if you figure out that they figured you out, you got to figure them out figuring you out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so
it sounds kind of slick.
That mental test is too strong.
It sounds kind of slick, right?
all I heard from your mouth was episode 26 of season 3. Episode 6.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. So Moss, what about you, man? Have you changed in any way, regarding any kind of game, or like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be fighting game related or adaptation. It could be the way you approach single player games, or just like anything competitive, or just anything in general. It's in the air.
I think like I feel like as I've aged in game, like as I've aged as a player, I'm understanding how to play, like understanding how I play more. Like I'm not as like I've learned a lot of my bad habits, like in fighting games and stuff. Well, I've tried to at least, and like I've tried to correct a lot of those things, and that kind of helps me like play. Actually, no, it doesn't, because in like other games, like a single player game, you can just go in and like,
yeah,
you don't really have to worry about the consequences as much.
Right.
So it didn't really translate over. So yeah,
I can see that, because like I've been playing Path of Exile too, and sometimes my brain just turns off. I'm not even trying to to improve in that game.
So yeah, but like as far as like competitive games go, like just kind of like actually putting in work and like practicing kind of translates more into like real life, more so than like in other games.
Yeah.
Just like being dedicated and getting results in the game. Like, if you continue doing that in real life, like for instance, like with the gym, if you keep going to the gym and putting in the reps, improve. Same thing with like competitive, like Smash, for instance. And like vice versa as well. Like if you're not going to keep putting in the work like I have been doing as far as Smash goes, like, you're not going to get those improved results that you want.
Okay, so how about what is your bad habit then? What is one of your bad habits in Smash?
Ooh,
good question.
I think
Moss doesn't have any.
My bad habit in Smash is losing. No, I'm just playing. I can kind of, let's see. So like one of the things that I've noticed more, and I'm like speaking mostly on Melee because I prefer to play that game anyway.
Right.
Is like with edge guarding, like not being aggressive and actually like afraid of like losing your jump or like wasting your jump or whatever. And I feel like I've gotten a little bit more intelligent and a little more aggressive with my edge guarding.
Yeah. Right.
Like, so comfortable.
Yeah, more comfortable. Like I'm willing to take a little bit more risk than I would have before. And like just kind of knowing how my aerials will like work against like the recovery has been really helpful too. So it's just like better adaptation than than earlier in my old earlier playing. And I think part of that's from like playing some of the newer games where you have to be more aggressive with your edge guarding because you can't just jump on the edge and keep people from recovering.
Right.
That was so cheap. Let's talk
cheap. Let's talk is cheap. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cheap. After me and Austin playing Melee again, I was like, yo, let's talk it kind of cheap. Like once you're off, you're off. Like,
dude, if you have like a character with a terrible recovery, it's like, that's it.
Yeah, DK. In every game, it seems like.
So yeah, like because of like the newer Smash Brothers games where you have to be more aggressive in order to actually like edge guard correctly, it's kind of forced me to like, or not forced me, but it's helped me to be more aggressive in Melee.
That's interesting. That's a newer game improving your skills in an older game. I like that.
Yeah, that tends to
better. No.
that tends to happen. You know what I mean? Now that you mentioned that, since you mentioned that, Naj, Street Fighter 5 has actually done that for me. If I were to go back to Street Fighter 4, I would not play the same, not even close. Right. So that's how I feel like I've changed as a gamer, and Moss makes a great point here. He just just getting older. Basically, you can't teach experience, and it just teaches you to do certain things. You know what I mean? And just get older, and that's just how it is. And with Street Fighter Five, it's kind of done that. Now that I've actually been playing, you know what I mean? It's actually taught me to be a lot more patient, use my meter a lot more efficiently, and try to opt for more optimal scenarios, right? Because
crush counters, for crush counters.
Well, if you remember, Aaron, I played Zangief, right? And I love Zangief in Street Fighter 4. Zangief. He's cool. He's cheap. He's cheap, and he's cheap. He just grab you from half screen for some reason.
I hate that. That matchup with Guy and Zangief is my most hated one, just because of those cheap grabs, man.
Yeah, it was cheap. I'm just gonna be honest, like it was dumb. And like if Guy was whiffing like standing medium punch, it got grabbed. It's not a lie, like it just got grabbed, and it was funny.
I'm hurting right now because I know how to feel, right? I hate it, man. As soon as he gets one grab on me, I'm like, I'm like, it's a wrap, bro. Like as soon as he puts the mix up on me, the wake up mix ups with the jump in, the empty jump grab.
Empty jump too late. Yeah.
And the freaking he catches me on a backdash with a green fist. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Just end the round now. Let's get to the next one, please.
Anyway, like I was saying, if you remember, I played Gief, and my issue with Gief was that I always went for command grab, right? And then the more, basically, right? And then the more I played, especially against more experienced players, they would know that, and I would never grab them, and like it was just hard for me to play, as it should be, because I'm a grappler, right? So
I remember that tournament that was in what was that vape shop?
Yeah, the vape shop.
Yeah.
You completely froze against the guy's Chun-Li play. You played against a Chun-Li player, and he was pretty solid. But
I'll never forget.
You completely froze, bro. You let him zone you out, and you had no way to get in.
Yeah, because he was zoning me out.
Yeah, and then I told you, man, you got lariats, you got green hands. As soon as you cross like the mid screen, that dude's gonna freak out. I guarantee you, he's gonna freak out.
Hey, Aaron, you remember what happened that set?
I asked you. I told you to do the snackish, and you did the snackish, dude.
That's too classic, dude. Never forget that set, dude. I'll never forget it, dude. I don't even know who that guy is, but that's just classic. I don't know if I'm talking about that set on this podcast, but basically what everyone's here saying is, I got zoned out, but then once I got in, that dude was so cracked, and not in the good way. He cracked, like he actually cracked mentally.
Man, this guy was blowing up EX legs for no reason.
Yeah, it was so funny, and then I remember after he lost, he played Ryu. I think he played Ryu against someone else, and he just got bodied, and then he just left. It was sad. That guy was good too.
He was solid. He was a solid Chun-Li player, but oh my god, man, he broke down as soon as you won one round on him. Oh my god, he was demoralized.
It's too funny. Anyway, so in Street Fighter 5, I've actually completely changed. I don't play like that anymore because I switched to Karin. Well, actually, I played a bunch of different characters in Street Fighter 5, but ultimately I landed on Karin, and Karin is like the opposite of that. Like, even though she's hyper aggressive, like I have to pick my spot. I have to hit confirm stuff. I have to go for frame traps. It's just how it is, right? It's the complete opposite of how I used to. Because before I used to just play to just do stuff, right? I just wanted to do the exciting play. I wanted to get the damage. I was just trying to do something hot. But now, playing Karin, playing Sagat, playing lame, basically playing lame in general. Actually, I've become a lot more open to it. So I've gotten smarter. In Street Fighter 5 too, you have to be smart about your meter too. And like once you use V reversal, once you use V trigger, you have to know the numbers, right? I think that to me is the distinct difference between Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 is you have to know the numbers. I hate to say it, but it's just facts. And because of that, I've had to change. I was forced to grow, and now I'm kind of playing Karin and Akuma, and you have to know the numbers. You have to know when it's your turn. You have to play patient, and you have to save meter when it's time. So that's how I feel like I've grown as
Whoa. Speaking of numbers, let me ask you guys: how many of you guys can actually read frames?
No.
Oh, frame data. I for the most part I understand, but I know what you're talking about though. I know like there's still the area of frame data that I know I'm completely lost on. But I understand. Yeah, I'm not the best.
Yeah. That's where I improved. I can kind of read it now.
Okay, so because like once in a while I'll watch Avoiding the Puddles streams. Sometimes like when he plays Tekken, when a new character comes out, he'll always like go into the lab and just start looking at like frame data just by throwing out moves. He's like,
oh no,
okay,
I'm not that.
throwing crazy. Out this look like a -13 on block, +7 on wake up.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm like, what the? How
people
can you
are saying when they start talking about frame data? Like,
yeah, I'm like, how do you see that just from watching the move?
Just feel it, man.
You can get a feel for it.
You can get a feel for it. This is what I meant by like in Tekken too. So I'm assuming you're talking about Tekken, but yeah, in Tekken that's huge, right? Because they didn't really read frame data back in the day, or at least they did, but it wasn't as common as now because we don't have the resource. They didn't have the resources. But yeah, if you're seeing Paul do a death fist and he leaves you mid screen and you block it, you have to know what the punish is. It's like minus something on block. You got to know what it is. Street Fighter 5 is the same thing too. In Street Fighter 5,
it's the same, yeah.
It's the same thing, right? So for example, if Kyrene is in your face and she press standing short, that's +2 on block. What that means is while I'm not the best at reading frame data, if it's +2 and Kyrene's doing that move, if you try to press something, you're gonna get counter hit.
You're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
It's funny because I learned my frame data from Dota, of all places. Yeah.
How do you read frame data from?
Really?
Yeah. So in the original one, if you stun somebody, they told you in the description how long that stun is, and you had to count it out in your head because if when you're CC chaining somebody, right? If like let's say somebody's stunned for 2 seconds and I have a 5-second stun, if I hit them during the stun, my 5-second stun turns into the 2-second stun. They weren't additive. It was just like it would just continue the duration. So you had to time it right where as soon as that 2 seconds was over, you apply the next one. And that's where I kind of got a rhythm for it.
Oh, you lost me, Nash.
Okay. It's hard to explain, but like, let's say you have like, let's say your Q stuns somebody for 2 seconds and you have a W that stuns somebody for 3 seconds.
Okay.
If you hit them with the Q and you immediately hit them with the W, they're only going to be stunned for the 2-second duration.
Think of that's like being minus on frames or something. Minus on a move. Yeah.
You gotta wait for the 2 seconds to end and then perfectly put the next one on. And like you can leave like a 0.1 second, like 6 frames, because there was no action you could take that was fast enough to stop it. So I get the timing down. I mean, that's how I lined up the hooks, everything.
This guy got framed. He's doing frame traps in Dota.
Yeah, because the turn rate, if you turn, there's some lockout. You can't do any other action. So I'd wait for people to turn, and that's when I throw the hook.
That's good to hear from you, Naj, because playing fighting games and kind of learning a bit about frame data. I've actually there's a certain times or in other video games where it's actually helped me. I mean, honestly, with all the numbers aside, if it looks like they're vulnerable after something, you take advantage of it, right? A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Like it's just people don't know what it's called, but it recovery frames, right? So if you do something, you're just gonna be vulnerable because the animation needs to finish. Yeah. And a lot of people they do know that, they just don't know how to explain it, or they don't know science behind it. But yeah, it taught me a lot, dude. Like you could use it in MOBAs, yeah.
Yeah, but I never really read. I never really paid attention to that stuff. But I'm more like what Moss was saying. It's just if I know one move is coming out and I block it, I know what move I feel like is going to be able to counter or is going to be able to beat that move, so to speak.
Yeah, right. That's more than okay.
I feel it. I feel like I know what to do, knowing my character.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a balance between, knowing the science and just having good instincts. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be completely honest. You could read, you could watch all the YouTube videos you want. and you can study frame data for 10 hours a day. But if you don't have if you don't have the experience and you don't know what to do in like these very obscure situations, you're just gonna lose, dude. That's how it is. You know what I mean? Like, it reminds me of those guys like on Reddit and like on Twitter, just complaining about and the clips of stuff they're doing, and all they do is play the game, and I'm just like, dude, like, I mean, it's just how it is. You know,
I don't know, man. 10 hours of like reading frame data.
Probably not 10 hours, but
60 frames a second. That's a lot of frames.
That dude is gonna be talking everything frame data. He's gonna be like throwing out what do you call it? Throwing out lines and one-liners to some guy or girl they like. He's like, I see you're a little speechless there. I must have left you -18 on block.
Okay.
So you're telling me our experience in gaming is gonna help us in the dating world?
Oh my god! I honestly though, if there's anything, whoever I'm single, but if I were to meet someone, man, they would have to ask to get stuff like this out of me. Dude, I'm not mentioning a single thing. Dude.
Dang, man, Carl's holding down back.
I'm down back. I'm holding down back. I'm holding down back. And if they even try, if they try to come through, I'll push block. I'm out of there. I'll massive push block. Yo, get me out of there.
What she hits you with the mix though?
Oh, she not seeing them. She not seeing the mix. She not seeing them.
No, man. Yeah, man. What if they hit you with the throw and you forgot the throw tech?
Isn't that always what happens in a relationship? Isn't that always what happens? You know, they just throw you, and you're just like, oh, here I am in a scenario I'm not ready for, and then
hitting you with option selects, and you chose wrong.
Oh, never mind.
That's gonna happen for sure.
First you get thrown in a relationship, and then you get hit with the option selects, and it's not fair for me. It's not fair for me to say only women do that, because men do the same thing. So it's just option select all around, right? Excuses. Oh my God. Excuses, audience. Excuses. Hey, that's what I'm referring.
She hits you with, does this make me look fat? Uh-oh.
You better get your inputs right.
Try blocking that. You know?
No, that's an unblockable. That's an unblockable mix-up right there.
Now I know why we got Aaron on the podcast. That's facts. You can't block. It's inescapable. This make me look fat. You lose. You just lose. It's unblockable.
It's infinite. Even if you think you answered right the first time, you're gonna hit it with. They're gonna get you with it again.
Yeah.
You're still gonna question that first answer.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Thank you. We just compare a real life situation to fighting games.
Yeah, fighting games in real life.
Fighting games translate to everything, man.
Aaron, you don't understand, bro. That's my entire life. I wish I could turn it off. Actually, I can't turn it off. Like, all I do is analyze, and actually it kind of gets old. I'm just like, but yeah, more often than not in fighting games, it's actually just taught me into like, and all jokes aside, not just with dating. I'm talking about any kind of situation in life, and I'm just like, honestly, if I get hit with this, like, how am I gonna fix this? How will I mitigate the situation? What can I do? You know what I mean? That's how, and that brings us back to our main topic. Like, how have you evolved? And this is how I've evolved.
This is how I've evolved. Like,
it's just taught me to change. It's taught me to be accountable. It's taught me to get better.
Yeah. Even at work, dude. Like, so I'm working. So right now I'm in pharmacy school, right? I'm finishing up my last week right now, so I'm pretty much already done. But I work at a pharmacy too, and a lot of the times, like at the place I work at, they have this feature where they could text people when things are ready, so they could come pick it up, or they'll text them. Here's the key. They'll give them text messages telling them that something is ready to be filled. Like, hey, I see you're low on this. Do you want to fill it? They get that text message, right? Every time I'll get people coming up saying, throwing a freaking option select at me saying, I got a text, something was ready. And I look it up, I'm like, okay, I put my input up, like, all right, let me look it up for you. Let me see. Oh, okay. John Doe. Let me see. We don't have anything ready. And then here they come putting the throw input on me saying, I got a text saying that it was ready. And then I teched it. I throw teched it.
Okay, here you go.
I throw tech saying,
the metaphor's too good.
I said, can I see the text message, please? And he comes back at me with a crouching heavy option select, trying to get those he's trying to plink. He's trying to plink a crouching heavy on me, trying to get the
Here we go.
Trying to get the extra positive frames, and he shows it to me, and I block. I say, oh, that's a text saying that, something's ready to be filled. And then, I got that block perfectly. He's trying to set up his next mix-up. So then he starts going, well, why does this happen every single time? I come to this, guys. I've been with you guys for 10 years. I've been coming here. I'm a regular. You guys know me. Why is this not ready? That's the infinite right there, man.
Oh, no.
That's what he got me.
I thought you downloaded them. It seemed like you downloaded them. No.
They throw mix-ups like that, man. But then, like after I meet people like that, there's always going to be other people that do the same thing after. So then you just got to adapt. Just throw
exactly,
man. Just block and reading my frame data on everything.
a lot of these younger gamers don't know is I've been throw teching all my life, and I miss tech every time. I miss almost every time. It seems like like you know what I mean. But it's just. But what it does test your ability to just get back up. You know what I mean? You got to change something. You gotta adapt. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So if people now try to tell me that playing video games is absolutely nothing for you and there's no educational value whatsoever, you're dumb because you're dumb.
Just straight up.
Yeah. Tech this though, buddy. Like, what is it? Don't try me on this.
But we haven't talked about how some bad habits from other games kind of bleed into and make you worse at certain games. Like, I don't know. I'm very aggressive in Dota. And I'm too aggressive in Smash. Like, I'm pressing buttons. I don't care.
But you play very cautious in Valorant, though.
No. Oh, in Valorant? Yeah. That's because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any sense of confidence. Like, with Smash, I've been playing so long, I feel like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Bad habits. I'm trying to think. I want to say a bad habit of mine is, I'm trying really hard to think. I'm not even trying to be arrogant. I'm really trying to think like a bad. I think, I guess it may sound like it's cool to be analytical about, scenarios up the wazoo, but to tell you the truth, actually thinking too much is a detriment. It can be. There's sometimes where it kind of is, and nothing wrong with thinking, but it's just in a competitive setting, it actually can be your downfall, and I'll say first, like, hey, there's been so many times where I just think for too long and I don't do anything. And then,
they got a term for that. It's called paralysis through analysis.
Okay, now it's college.
See, this is what we went to school for, man.
Wait, you're telling me Street Fighter 4? Street Fighter 4 was in school for me?
Same, right? But I feel like it's not bad. Yeah,
you're right. No, you're right though. I have that habit too. I have that habit of like thinking way too hard, and I get completely blown up when really the best strategy is to kind of just dumb it down and just go in.
Wait, Aaron. So you said that, right? So let's say you're. I'll give you an example, right? So let's say you're playing Valorant, and I don't know where you at. Ascent, right? You're on Ascent. You're in A main. And dude, just what do you call it? You got to think about the rotation. You got to think about the smoke. You got to think about what heroes are alive.
Man. If I'm playing Reyna and like we're losing, and I'm thinking way too hard. If I'm in A main and I'm pushing that, I'm just gonna double smoke right away and just run straight in, man. And
that's what I like to hear.
I'll try to get anything.
Spoken like a true Reyna main.
Just double smoke and get it.
Right. Yeah, that's what's so hard for me about games like team games actually in general, but Valorant in particular is because yeah, I could change stuff, but I don't know how to change my teammates. You can't really do that. So you have to adapt like tenfold, I feel like, on that. Because you have not only do you adapt for yourself, but you have to adapt for your teammates without freaking out too. So
I think that's the hardest part about playing team competitive games now, especially with a bunch of the new gamers that are coming in, and like the first thing that they pick up can either be like Valorant, League, or Dota. Is that
no Dota? There's no new players in
no
there.
new players? Oh, is
It's just all a bunch of old salty.
It's because the game's dead.
We all hate each other.
Because the game's dead.
It's not dead. Not dead.
But I think the new players in like games who like pick up League or Valorant,
Valorant would be the best example.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying about accountability, though. They don't learn accountability. They learn by blaming everyone else. Right. And in games like that, you just, if you're too reliant on your team, you're not going to improve. And if you improve too much on yourself, I mean, that'll get you kind of far, but at the same time, you kind of have to learn how to adapt and play somewhat with your team.
Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
I got a perfect story for that. Like, what was it? 2 days ago, you had a Jet on Valorant. And, I have a funny crosshair.
You had me at Jet. You had me at Jet. That's all you needed to say.
Yeah. So I have a funny crosshair, right? So, he died. He's looking at my crosshair. Everybody says the same thing. Bro, what's wrong with your crosshair? And I'm like, first of all, you're not aiming with it. What's it to you? Second of all, why are you blaming me for this?
Oh my God.
It's my crosshair. I like it.
I don't know. I don't know if Moss and Carl has seen his crosshair though. Like,
I've never seen it.
Listen. If it works for you, Najee, it works. But let me tell you guys, it's freaking huge, bro. It's huge.
If it works,
you got giant 4 giant credit cards, and and a block right in the middle. That's his crosshair.
So I can get an idea. But this kid,
if I was making... Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, this kid, he had the complete, he was good. He was a good shot. He had good peaks and all that stuff, but he had that complete, I'm going to be the carry mindset. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't play with anybody. He'd wait till we all died. Then he'd start shooting.
Mm-hmm. As Jet. Classic.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, because that's what entry fraggers do. It's okay.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, he probably worked on his game a lot, and he's very confident in his shot. But then timing that with the team and kind of leveraging that with the team is something he hasn't worked on. And so instead of him blaming himself for saying, I could have timed this a little better with this person, or I could have held this a little better, he starts blaming everyone else for not being on the same page with him.
Yeah, like me. I got decades of team games, so I realized I'm the weakest link for once. Oh, that's a little cocky, but whatever.
No. You right.
You like that confidence now. Just keep it up.
I'm the weakest link, so I got to do everything I can. If I can't shoot good, I at least got to provide utility, help my teammates with it.
Yeah, and that any in games like that, it's very similar to Rainbow Six or Overwatch. Any little thing can definitely help around.
Yeah.
It's I don't care if my shots aren't hitting, but if you're gonna, or I don't care if your shots aren't hitting, but if you're throwing down some kind of utility to help out the team, that's still gonna make a huge difference. Yeah, you could go 0-14 and still win a game.
How'd you know my score?
Oh, what's up your match history, man?
That's on a good day.
How do you get 0% accuracy?
It's not the crosshair. That's not the problem.
When I was moving while shooting, that's how you get 0% accuracy.
Oh my
God. Anyway, to go back to what you brought up, Aaron, I really hate to be as cynical as I am. I truly do. I'm not even being funny here. I just don't see it happening. I think playing online is never going to change. I really do think it's just going to be this, where gamers will just not just be accountable and just blame other people. And honestly, I did let it affect how I approach multiplayer games, dude. Like it's kind of taken me out of it. Like I don't even want to. There's only one game I really play now that's um at least multiplayer and an FPS, or just like a super team based game, and it's Overwatch. And I've played a long time, and I've actually been in the same rank for a long time too. I just been in plat. I've been platinum pretty much the whole time. I was in gold, and I went back to plat, and it's just the same thing every time. Like it's just everyone just blames each other. Everyone's yelling, and it got to the point where I just mute everyone now on the lobby. Like I'm just like, even if it's ranked, I just mute everyone now. And honestly, it's done wonders. I'm like, yo, this is
That's the greatest lesson. It's the greatest lesson.
It's too easy, bro. I just mute everybody. Wait, let me tell you guys this, right? I don't know if I might have put it on Twitter or texted somebody or something, but check this out, guys. I don't know if this is unheard of, but in Overwatch, I blocked so many people that my block list is full. I didn't even know that was possible. I filled it up. I'm done.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I just like I've blocked that many people. I'm just like, yo, I'm OD. But yeah, I usually don't say anything in the chat, and then like, but here's the thing though. I always tell people that I can be the most toxic person in the lobby, not because I instigate. So I do whatever the opposite that Naj does, right? I think Naj is just like always.
Yeah, I start the fight.
Yeah, Naj usually starting, right? Right. So I do the opposite. I say I'm the most toxic, but not in the same way. Right? So what happens is I don't say anything, right? I don't even berate people, actually. I'm like, oh, this guy's, I'll tell to Discord, I'm like, yo, this Reinhardt is a garbage tank. Like, this guy's letting down shield. He hasn't blocked a single shatter. It took him like 3 minutes to build his first shatter. That made no sense. But I don't actually say that to my teammate because he's a random. I'm like, whatever, dude. He sucks. Let's win without him. And then he has the audacity to start talking about not getting heals or not getting nano because I mean Anna. Oh, that's over. It's over. Don't give me the chat. Don't ever give me the chat. I'm actually the worst. Like, it's not even tongue in cheek. There is no sarcasm. I just spit straight facts. I use all the abrasive language, and I feel bad. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it, but I just get so heated. I'm like, dude, like no one's talking to you. Like, why are you getting mad? Like, you're the one bottom fragging here. And I would just realize, like, down the road, like, I don't have fun playing like this. Like, this is not fun. You know what I mean? I don't like being politically incorrect here. Like, this is not very fun. I want to have a good time. So I just started muting everyone. And I'm just like, yo.
Well, good thing I didn't say what I was going to say, but I was going to say that I'm so glad, we all played fighting games because we kind of humbled each other when we start playing everything else.
No, honestly, like I said, when I meet people, I'm still having a good time, to tell you the truth. But no, it has. I agree with you. It's humbled me for sure. Like I'm not a stranger to losing at all. I'm down with losing, right? If there's one thing I don't get mad at, it's losing. I'm like, we lost, it's cool, right? But at this point, right, especially I work full time and I just have so many other responsibilities that like I don't know if this is like the right or the wrong way to think, but at this point, dude, I'd rather win. Oh, sorry, I'd rather lose and for it to be a close game and lose with like good teammates than win with just us yelling at each other the whole time and calling each other horrible names and being abrasive. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have fun doing it. It's not. I'm just at that age where I'm like, dude, like I got like 2 hours, 3 hours to do this. Like don't do this.
Oh my god! That ain't the truth, man.
It's just the truth, man. Like I don't have that much time anymore, and I want it to be a positive experience every time,
So you just play single player games, man.
That's what I'm saying, Moss. You right?
No, preach.
100%.
I swear, like every time like I see Aaron like getting like raging over one multiplayer game over another, I'm just like, bro, put on like Skyrim or something, or go play Uncharted.
Play some God of War.
Or God of War. Yeah.
Moss been spitting facts. You right.
It's true though. Oh,
it's true.
Single player games, you got it. Like everyone has to at least like play one of those. Like a really you gotta
that's
play more. You have to.
That's it.
Like,
that is the truth.
Skyrim blew my mind when I first played it, man. That was so entirely relaxing and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then jump forward to me. I've never played like all of the God of War series, but then I played the new God of War. Oh my god, man, that game was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It was a perfect like blend of challenging and like me actually having to use my brain, but also a good balance of me turning off my brain.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like keep a single player game where you can just like get in, just play it for fun. Don't have to worry about anything. Don't have to follow a story or anything. Just press buttons and press like do random shit. And then
Path of Exile.
That's kind of how I feel about Hades right now. The story's cool, but it's like I can just go in and
do stuff.
Yeah. Because like you said, Carl, like we sometimes like we just don't have enough time to game as much as we used to. So I'm just trying to chill.
Yeah, same, dude. I trust me, dude. Like if I had the choice, yeah, why not invest a little more time in in the lab in Street Fighter, labbing this particular setup, or why not work on my crosshair placement in Valorant and learn all the sofa darts and stuff. But it's just I just don't have. I can't play 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
like these guys
you don't want to play online Smash, get tilted extra hard.
No.
I feel like fighting games are easier for me to play right now because I have no one to get mad at, and I just get mad at myself. Yeah, that's it. I get mad at myself all the time. Yeah, and I'm just like, this is fine. At least I lost, and I could fix it. You can just go to training mode in any modern fighting game. Every modern fighting game right now, at least most of them. I don't know about Tekken. I guess Tekken has the frame data as the frame data tool, which got implemented years later. But that's another whole discussion. But it's just in a modern fighting game, you can go to the lab and you can not just practice combos. Like you can save the status and replay the exact scenario of you can go in training mode and have Abigail do that V trigger setup that you didn't block. Guilty Gear, Accent Core. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but they have this thing where you can watch the replay and you can actually pause it and you can replay the match from a spot that you pick. Right? If there's a spot where you lose the game, yeah, I've seen this in Sage Jam's video, or one of his videos for a Guilty Gear. You can pause the replay. You can insert yourself in the situation, and you can play the game.
That's actually kind of dope.
It's ridiculous, is what it is. I saw it. I was like, "Yo, this has to be the future. This is out of control." Like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to Sage Jam and a Guilty Gear with the replay feature, he shows it off, and it's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Right? He was playing Soul Bad Guy against someone else, and then he did something in this situation, and he replayed the scenario, and he pressed another button, and it worked. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen in fighting games." Right?
I think that'd be like pretty dope too, because sometimes it's kind of just hard to recreate moments in training mode, and it's just not going to translate the same way.
Exactly, right? Because it's
kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it really is. And it's just now when people are in fighting games, in Smash or Street Fighter, and whatever game it is now, if you're out here complaining about something, I'm not gonna lie, dude, you don't have a lot of excuses. We have all the resources available. Training mode has all this stuff. The frame data is available. Twitter's available. You can literally go to character-specific Discords. Like, that's crazy, like, to me. So, but yeah, like when I play, when I'm having a good time now playing a multiplayer game, I also play team games because I like playing with my friends. But in fighting games, yeah, dude, I'm down with playing in my free time, and learning the hard way. So that's kind of where I'm at.
You'll get like burned out from multiplayer, and you kind of just swerve into casual gaming. I think I fall into that at least every other month or so. I just fall into casual gaming. I think I'm in that right now.
Yeah,
actually, with Path of Exile. Yeah, I've swerved right into that.
Yeah, and that's completely okay. Yeah, I've been playing single player games. I've been knocking them out like one by one. I actually just finished Cyberpunk, and I'm trying to 100% the game.
Oh my god, bro! I got tired. I got tired of that game. I'm not gonna lie. It was great. Like the game itself was great. Cyberpunk looked amazing on PC. Let me just specify, on PC it looks great.
Yeah, you're right. You have to tell the people you look so great on PC, but don't mince words because it looked like garbage.
It looked like garbage on console.
Hey, which consoles?
The older ones. Like I think new gen. I think the current gen should be okay. So you play PS5 and Xbox. I don't think
What about
there might be
PS4
issues. Oh, you're done. You're done. You figured out. I don't know about all that. I'm not gonna lie. You might be downloading right there.
That's a different game you playing, man.
Yeah. You got sick of it, Aaron.
I did. I played. I wanted to do like a bunch of different builds in that game, but it's just I don't know. Like I kind of just got a little bit repetitive for me, so I took a break from that game.
Sorry, but I'm tired of open world games.
No,
Really?
yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. No,
Many of them.
I understand. I understand that. It takes if I play Cyberpunk, that more than likely is gonna be what I'm doing that day. Like, dude.
Yeah.
So
then
yeah,
you probably played the what's that called? That Star Wars game, right, Moss? Jedi. What's it called? Like
Fallen Order.
Yeah,
I haven't
Fallen
played
Order.
any Star Wars games.
Oof.
I played that.
It's not
And I
open
finished
world,
it.
but ooh, man, that's a game right there.
Yeah, I
Aaron, you got
bought
bodied?
Horizon.
Oh, Horizon. Okay,
I
nice.
played 10 minutes of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is open world. I don't feel like playing right now." I never get back to it.
As soon as they put him out of the tutorials, be like, you can explore this.
I don't
world.
even think I finished the tutorial. I was like, "Oh no, stealth mode. I have to do stealth missions, and it's open world. No, I'm good."
Right? You mean you don't like missions where you gotta follow people, and then you walk slightly faster than them, so you gotta like pause every now and then.
Sneak up on a dinosaur. Oh my gosh, no thanks.
What kind of a person's gonna sneak up on a dinosaur?
Uh,
I'll come back to this game eventually.
How about jeez, I opened Steam and the game just like I was about to say it came. Oh, Dark Souls. How about Dark Souls?
I've never played those.
Great game.
But I want to because I heard they're really good.
I would say it's like the closest thing to an RPG and fighting game. In the sense that you gotta adapt and you gotta, have good reactions.
You just gotta rage.
You mean you gotta
And
lose,
rage.
right? And lose, yeah.
Oh my god.
Aaron Sekiro?
Oh my god, bro! I had to
I finished it.
take a break from that, man.
I finished it. I finished it.
Crazy, right? It was crazy.
It was nuts. And Aaron, you haven't been here when I'm pretty sure I've talked to Naz and Moss about this, but the only reward you get out of finishing a Souls game and or Sekiro and or Bloodborne is you just get to tell people you finished it. That's it. That's what you get.
Oh, if that ain't the truth, man, I swear. Oh my god! I only had to take a break from that game because I kept getting wrecked, and I'm just like, okay, look, let me, I gotta fix this. I gotta get this right. And it's just, it was too much, man. I got stuck in the infinite, and I got tired of the infinite. I had to close it for a little bit, man.
What happened to all your wisdom, man? You got a decade.
I did. It's called in my decades experience of fighting games, I uninstall games when I get tired.
You gotta cut your losses.
I gotta you know what? I'm gonna take a hiatus. I'm not gonna show up at this year's Evo. I'll come back next year and make a comeback. that's right now, man. Freaking uninstall Sekiro and just freaking turn on Rocket League or turn on freaking Left 4 Dead 2. I'm just chilling.
Hey, so I respect that more than anything because again, all of us, we tend to be busy, so it happens.
Or just watch movies, man. I've been watching a lot of movies lately.
Yo, watching stuff? Oh man, that's next level. Not playing games?
Not playing games and just relaxing? Oh
no inputs.
The only inputs I put is NETFLEX. Oh, geez.
Wait, yo. You got me worried there at first.
Hold on. Oh, you thought I was gonna? No. Whoo.
Oh man, that's what.
Nah. Yeah, but the only inputs I put is Netflix.
Don't even spell it out.
Hulu, Crunchyroll, HBO Max.
HBO.
All you need.
Oh my god! Did you guys watch Justice League?
No, we did. I did not. So here's my. I can't. You lost me at 4 hours. So here's the thing, right?
Dude,
so
it doesn't even feel like 4 hours.
Really? So you have positive things to say about it?
I loved the movie, man. I loved it. As
That's
far as
good.
like
That's good.
as far as like a superhero movie that's different from like the Avengers or like Marvel hero, formula with their, quirky little one-liners and their super quote unquote subtle jokes and Easter eggs, going into like a hard cut, like dark looking movie that's just straight up that can be like brutal with some other heroes that we haven't seen on in movies. Dude, it was great. The pacing
It
was
was
like 4 hours long, but like they separate it into different parts and each one flows very smooth, so it doesn't feel like you're watching for 4 hours, man.
So you give us like a continue with your review of it, I guess. Just keep it spoiler free.
Spoiler free. I would say every character in the movie gets gets at least one scene of showing their exact power at its fullest, and it looks beautiful. Like
that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
The visuals, like you guys have watched like movies like other Zack Snyder movies like 300, right? Or Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen Watchmen. Yeah.
Like the visuals that he has, it's very the way he directs or the way he sets up his shots is very comic booky. And so when he uses those exact things to do it on characters that we like Superman, Wonder Woman going ham, or like Flash or Cyborg, like the movie like it looks so good, man. And each character in the movie has its moment of why everyone loves these characters. Like they have at least one or two scenes of that, and it blew my mind, man. Like it was man, I wish y'all watched this movie, man. I can't like not go on about this. It was so good.
Here's my here's my perspective from a casual watcher of the DC. I've seen all the Marvel movies. Like I remember having this discussion with one of my cousins, and it's just to me it's just the job that Marvel did in regards to world building, setting up certain things, setting up certain plot points in the previous Marvel films, and just having them, be and having them cameo, stuff like that. That to me, it was just so beautifully executed that when I think of DC from a casual perspective, it was just really hard for me to get into it. Yeah, it felt out of place, felt weird. But honestly,
it felt rushed, and I didn't really like a lot of the movies, and that was why I haven't really watched Justice League yet. Like,
right.
To be fair. Yeah, but that's just Zack Snyder's movies, man. Some of his decision making in the movies is kind of questionable, but overall to me, I thought Man of Steel was a great Superman movie compared to the ones that came before it. And Batman versus Superman could have been better, but okay, that one's kind of questionable, but I still overall like it.
Okay, yeah.
But his Justice League one was perfect. I thought it was perfect.
I think it's good that you're coming on here and saying that, because I love that, because most of the time, when something incredibly popular comes out or just something that's very anticipated, it tends to get a lot of hate for sure. A lot of it, makes sense, warranted, but it tends to be unjustified. And I love that you come on here and you're willing to praise the movie. That's awesome. That because me, I wasn't really, I wasn't trying to watch it, but after you coming on here,
you gotta watch it, man. Like all the Marvel movies you watched, like the cameos you were talking about, they had a foundation to build on before they started adding little cameos like that, right?
Yeah,
they already had the formula down. But Justice League, even though it didn't exactly have that, the movie in itself was great. And it did stuff that Marvel movies don't have.
Well, that's good that you're saying it, dude. I've been on here. I've defended Cyberpunk. I've defended The Last of Us 2. I've defended multiple things. So I was kind of glad hearing somebody else defend something, because it's getting a little hard out here. People on YouTube make an hour-long negative reviews of literally anything, and I have to get on this podcast that maybe 3 or 4 people listen to to convince them.
We love all 3 or 4 of you.
We do love all 3 or 4 of you. But yeah, it's good. I honestly, because you, Aaron, I'm gonna have to check it out, dude. I'm kind of hyped.
I would watch it again. Like I would honestly watch it again. I've been listening to like the whole, like me. The thing with me, like in movies, is like the music also has to be on point.
Right.
And you know, like the music in that movie, I've been listening to it all week, man. Or yeah, pretty much like all week. It's on point. Everything about that movie is on point.
Well, it sounds like we should hop off here and go watch the Snyder Cut.
Yes.
Soundtrack, turn it up all the way. But we ran out of time. Thank you, Aaron, for coming on. It was great having you. Do you want to plug any of your social media real quick?
Yeah. Dang, man, I've always joked about it, like in my head, doing plugins like this. But yeah. Just check me out I'm usually on Twitter, just twitter.com/AaronOreo. I took a little break from streaming, but I should be back on in a couple weeks. Check it out. It's also twitch.tv/AaronOreo. And yeah, you know, hope that I can come back on this and talk a little bit more different things with you guys.
Yeah.
This was actually fun. It was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is super fun. Yeah, we actually, I've enjoyed having every single one of our guests, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man, come back through.
I'm down. Najee, I'm down.
Najee, okay, I'm down. I get it. We'll get you back on. Don't worry. This has been another great episode. We got to, discuss how we've all grown as gamers with this past decade. But right now, we got to go catch the Snyder Cut. So this has been Whispering Tears.
They're not sponsoring us. Cut that out. No. We don't have free
Get
HBO
that, Zack
Max.
Snyder.
We don't have no free HBO Max.
And if you don't have HBO Max, enter in promo code MWG.
Okay.
Just be disappointed. But until next week, catch you guys later.
Later.
Later, guys.